It is the Welcome to Cooperville podcast and Twitch live sessions from quarantine. Going to be joined by Eric Boatright from Shallow Side here in just a bit. But I got to pay the bills, as the kids say, as my kid says, like, hey, what'd you get in the mail today? I'm like, bills. Like, he doesn't understand the concept yet, but he will someday. I told him to get a job. He hasn't yet. Midwest Meals, MidwestMeals.com. Those 13 rotating meals always online for you. They ship out on Mondays nationwide, so you get your order in by Fridays at midnight, and they'll ship you your meals for the week. They come, they ice pack them in, and you get them at your door. And meals and dishes taken care of for the week, plus 10% off your order with Cooper as a promo code at checkout. So check out MidwestMeals.com. Violent Gentleman Hockey Club at violentgentleman.com, their website. Of course, they got a new team out on the West Coast there, out in Seattle. They just put some new gear up for that. They got a whole bunch of stuff, not just clothing. They got bags and socks. I even saw they have masks now. So covering the wide gamut of your badassery at violentgentleman.com. Promo code there is Cooperville15 at checkout. That's 15% off your first order with Violent Gentleman. And of course, Monster Energy, they're everywhere. They just send me cool stuff. That, by the way, is not Monster. Just giving you a heads up. But I have had several today because, as you know, I get up early, get cracking, go running, take care of a 10-year-old, podcast, sell beard stuff, and I need all the caffeine I can get. Monster Zero plus Rain Body Fuel. Check out Monster Podcasts. That is the hashtag we use all the time on our socials, so make sure you jump on board with that. This fine fellow I've known for many years, and the stories this man can tell, the stories this man has told me, has informed me of, I feel like the book, Eric Boatright, should be coming out soon. I feel like that's really what you should have been doing during all this quarantine time, is writing the book of Shallow Side, Survival Guide. I think that all would have, you could have fucking retired by this point, bro.
It would have helped if I could write. That
words are hard, man.
If I could just start off with learning English properly, we might have some good stuff, and something I pride myself on is the truth. So I'm not one of those fish story guys. I'm going to tell it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just continue to tell it my way. Maybe I got skewed vision. I'm not sure.
I think it's all about perspective. Like, from my perspective, here is how this situation happened.
The angle that I was looking at, I had the back view of the fish, so it was definitely 12 foot long.
It really was. I had an eye patch on because I'm half pirate.
I'm half pirate. Exactly.
The good half. We got people jumping in on the chat here on Twitch. Hi, Princess Jess and Isa Booyah. They're in. They're jumping on their chat and they're saying hey. So if
Heyo.
Eric Boatright's in the house. I told you this before we jumped on here, but you, from this angle, and here we are talking about perspective again, you look like well put together, like you got your shit figured out. It's weird. I'm not sure I'm okay with it.
I don't know.
You got the nice shirt. Your hair's all like.
This shirt's really thin. I live in South Carolina, so it's just normally 150 degrees here. So we got to wear thin clothes. I'm actually only wearing this shirt right now.
Oh, so. It's a pants-free conversation. I like that.
Yeah, it looks good from the nipples up. This is actually a crop top, so like my belly button's exposed too, along with everything else. But I appreciate it though, man. I appreciate it. Like I try to look like I put it together. I'm mostly just falling apart on the inside.
Well, I think the fact that exterior perceptions are really much more important than what's going on the inside. I feel the 21-year-old college girl look with the bare midriff and the no pants going on a Friday night, jive you got going on over there. I feel like, from my view, you got life by the balls, man. Just like a 21-year-old college chick going on a Friday night back when they could do that.
It does feel youthful. I won't lie about that. I will not lie about that. I was watching the commercials come in or the shout outs come in just before I jumped in and saw all the Monster gear. You know what I didn't get before we started this today? I did not grab a drink. What was I thinking?
I did not grab a Monster, but this clever little fella right here covers up most of my existence, which is the latte of the mountains of Bush.
That's good. I like that. It's clever.
because Monster doesn't pay me enough for the podcast to actually afford beer that's more than $20 a 30 pack. You know,
Same.
that's see. I used to be like a huge craft beer guy, like drinking IPAs, and there's two issues for me with that. Is the fact that I drink IPA like it's Busch Light, so I'm just like, fuck, that was good. And then I also realized that I don't make enough money to afford, $20 4-packs. I need a $20 30-pack. But at the next day, I usually feel about the same.
So I recently, I recently started diving into a lot more beers, and I started I guess evolving the palette of beers, and I didn't know. I mean, and trust me, I get that this is complete utter ignorance, but that a couple of percentage of alcohol in a beer can absolutely dramatically change how many beers that you're allowed to have. I had absolutely, you know what? I learned what most would say the hard way. I had a great time. So I was there's a beer company here in South Carolina, and I dove down into it, and I was like, yo, this beer is great. I can have 3 of these beers where I don't have to drink 7 of the major beers. And I was like, all right, this is great. I can do this. And then I started realizing it's 3 times the price. And then I was still just like rolling over a 6-pack. I'm ready to go. It's Monday afternoon, 5 p.m. and I'm just tripping around acting like I'm gonna mow the yard. And I'm not. Yeah. Just wrecking stuff in the suburbs. I'm not supposed to be here anyway.
Take me back to Alabama where I can do this shit every day. And it's okay. It's acceptable.
Everyone's all confused on why I got Daisy Dukes on and high ankle socks with my white New Balances. And I'm like, I'm just trying to be dad.
Dad
right?
life.
I'm learning it.
It's total dad life. Yeah, the IPA stuff. And Booyah said Two Hearted. That's a good one. Bell's Brewery. There's
Two Hearted. That's a Michigan one, right?
Bell's, I think, is Bell's out of Michigan? I think so. Booyah, we'll jump in the chat and mention it. But there's
there we go. That's my boy, yes. Jeff.
Yep.
He's actually from Michigan. He's the one that turned me on to that. And he was like,
"Oh, it's your fault, Jeff.
These
asshole."
Yeah. So and that's what he is, an asshole. We're drinking Bud Lights, and then I'm probably like on the 5th or 6th one, and I'm like, you know what? Just drowning these because they go back a lot smoother after you've had a couple of them. And I just woke up the next day with an extreme makeover. My entire face was rearranged. I was looking upside down in the mirror. I'm like, how did we get here?
Where did the UFOs abduct me? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
The fucking UFOs are coming and they took me, and that it's a probe. That's what I felt like. Toppling Goliath is I think it's out of Iowa. Great brewery, and they have some like heavy duty stuff. So they have this IPA. It's a hazy IPA. Pseudo Sue, and then there's King Sue, and I thought it was just like, oh, maybe the hops are a little more golden. Like, I don't fucking know. It was $2 more. I don't read numbers. I'm like you trying to write. I'm like, and I don't understand. So, and it's a 4-pack of pints. So I was like, oh, this is good, and I drank all 4 of them, and I woke up and I thought my eye was in Iowa. Like, I'm like, oh, I can't. The needle went in so far, I could see it protruding out of my right eyeball. And so now I know better than to drink all 4 of those. There may have been, I mean, Jack may have made an appearance after those 4. Like, I have a good idea.
That's always how it works out too. The bravery that comes from beer is unmatched. I used to think, as I was younger and I was first experimenting with alcohol, that like whiskey and vodka made me invincible.
Oh, yeah.
But like 8 beers and it's like, not only am I invincible, I have ambition.
I am motivated to do stuff.
Yeah, I'm now I'm hydrated. I'm motivated. I got a full belly. So like I'm ready just to get it. And then, 30 minutes into physical activity, and I'm spent.
It's
Just rocked.
game fucking over, man. The other issue with drinking when you drink beer like that is it does fill you up if you get to that like 9 beer point, like you
Yeah,
feel full, so you're like, I don't really need to eat. Like I'm good. I don't
I'm
food.
good.
What's that shit?
Plenty of calories.
I'm good. Like a pork chop in every can, they say. Like I'll be fine.
I've never heard that before. It's a pork chop in
There's
every
a pork
can.
chop in every can. That's classic. Jeff, by the way, says he's just trying to be the best bad influence he can be. So thank you, Jeff. We all need people like you in our lives, I think. Bad. But you guys have so we've been going through this this whole thing, this COVID lockdown, shutdown stuff.
Yeah,
I
torture,
know,
man.
I know, because you guys, of all the bands I ever met, and it's been a handful. Like no, I can't remember anybody having more fun. Not only performing on the road. I mean, bands always you can tell the bands that are having a good time and the bands that are out there just doing the thing to do the thing. But you guys always had a fucking blast. Every show didn't matter. I mean, from the stages of Rockfest to, you know, I remember you guys doing that that charity cancer benefit over here a couple of years back.
Yeah.
You know, so for a smaller audience, but always putting in full effort. But then, you know, the after show fun party, interacting with fans, maybe getting into trouble, Heath. But this is like where you guys thrive. This is where, like, you know, this is where Shallow Side exists, is in the world of touring and stuff. So
Very true.
how have you, besides the mowing the lawn in the crop top Daisy Dukes, New Balance, besides stuff like that to try to circumvent the loss of touring, what have you been doing to keep yourself occupied these days?
Well, I mean, to go back, man, you're so right. Shallow Side was basically birthed right there on the asphalt. That's how we came to be. We were touring before we had a legitimate set list to perform to, perform with.
Right.
We had more cover songs than original songs when we hit the road. We knew more about booking a show than we did writing or recording a song before the band was like really set underway. And it was just because of our determination just to get out there. And we didn't care if people wanted us we didn't care if people would allow us to play 5 songs or 10 songs, or allow us to play 10 songs, the same 10 songs that we only knew 3 times so we could play 3 hours. Like, it was just whatever it took. And that building mechanism allowed us to grow nationwide.
Yeah.
And it wasn't quickly, and it wasn't easy. And if I could go back and change it, I absolutely would, because that was hell. That was a lot of hard work. But the fact that we did that and accomplished a lot of goals set in front of us was absolutely amazing. And it was super cool that we started probably right at about 3 years ago. We started hearing that, or started learning that the people that we would meet in Wisconsin were the same people that were coming to our shows in Michigan. And they were meeting people that they've never met before. And now that they've met, now their hobbies both were to go to rock and roll concerts. And now those same people are going to watch, Royal Bliss. They're going to watch Shaman Harvest. They're going to watch, Another Lost Year. Those dudes they're going to watch Shinedown together. They're going to the Justin Bieber concert. So dude, wait, what was that? What did you say?
What was that? What was that last thing? What was that?
So the people from several hundred miles apart are now becoming friends, and then COVID happens. It's just an interesting bullet point to put on that relationship and scenario. They're social distancing together, so they're still traveling hundreds of miles just to meet up and be friends. And that, man, that is the same feeling. It's something I never even expected to be. That's the same feeling as when you hear the big crowd. sing it back.
Mhm.
The song that you wrote, that is the same feeling. It's huge, because now we've not only created music, friendship, we've created a network of friends that now go from here to there, and we most times are not even involved.
Mhm.
They're just there because they found a mutual interest, and then it continued to grow. But having to put that to rest because of COVID
Mhm.
has been excruciating. And at first, it was a mental pain. It was just like, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
We just need to get past it. We need to do whatever it takes. Let's move forward. And it looked like we were, for the first time, and not to get political in America, but for the first time, we were like, we're gonna do it. We're
Mhm.
all going to come together. This is going to be a thing. We're all going to fight it. We're going to win. And then, like, Washington, D.C. got involved, and
Mhm.
now we're all at each other's throats constantly. So it's really like slowed down the ratio. And now that same mental pain is like starting to become, physical. Like,
Mhm.
I'm looking around like maybe I should see a doctor, but I don't want to wear the mask. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if you're gonna go see a good proctologist, here's what you need to know.
Wait,
Wait, wait. Different doctor. Never mind. That's not what you meant.
they clean the pipes out there. But
Wouldn't that,
so
man? What if that's the cure? That would suck. Bummer.
yeah. Well, I'd I'd do it.
No, I'm saying.
I'd make Heath do it first, just to see how much he liked it. The more he liked it, the less likely I'd be trying to
Like,
do
wait a
it.
minute. You came out of that office with a big old smile on your face, Mr. Fields. What's
This is
dude?
strange.
The fun is in here. Go through the door, knock twice, wear a mask.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask.
So the only thing that we've been doing, well, I say the only thing we've been we've sat back something, because we toured so much, we put so much effort on the road. We didn't have a lot of emphasis on streaming, on social media content creation, which is an absolute necessary thing to do. And some artists only visualize themselves in that aspect, where me personally, the only way that I felt that I could reach out and touch someone was literally being there. I needed to hand them that CD. I needed to make sure that they saw it live in person and know that it's a real thing. This is actually created by these real people, and I still get it a lot. And not to play the rock star or anything, but still get those messages. Like, man, I can't believe that you guys actually even respond back. And I'm like, are there people out there that are not responding back? Just dude, point them out.
Who are these assholes?
I'll find you, and
Give me
I'll
the
eat
list.
you.
Give me the list. I want the list.
Give me the list. Wow. Show me. I will eat those humans, because I'm not going to say who it was, but that happened to me before we started playing music. I was on MySpace reaching out to this band, and just a fan, and I was like, "Hey, I love this song. I can't get enough of it. The lyrics, in my perception, and they look like this. Um, can you give me your thought process when you were writing it?" And completely just snubbed. And this is how I know I was snubbed. The band didn't make it much. The band didn't make it further than what Shallow Side is today, and um, they didn't last much longer than a couple of years after I sent that message. I mean, it was like year 2 of Facebook, and they were gone. So, man, that happened to me. So, I stick with that today, to be available, to all those people. And anyway, to go back to it, we started focusing a lot more on content, on being able to do lyric videos, to do music videos, maybe putting a visual aspect to a lot more of our audio than we have previously. And because before, visualization to our audio was, we're going to be in your neighborhood. I mean, this
Right.
is we're playing at your spot. We're on the festivals. We're going to be rolling through with these goon bags at the theater over there, and then so now we're working in a different effort, trying to put together, and a lot of that stuff's fan oriented, for them, by them type of situation. But we're starting to notice that we're diving into a lot more acoustic covers too, which is
Right.
it's fun. That's a fun thing to do.
Yep.
And I know a lot of radio people, they see the covers come through and they're like, Jesus Christ, not again.
Yeah.
But for me, it's interesting because I get to dive into it. I get to dissect it. I get to recreate it on my own, which I'm not really trying to recreate it. I'm just living in the same moment that they were when they recorded it. I'm not trying to like make it different or make it my own. I'm just trying to do it and feel what they feel, because I basically just out there chasing the high of more music.
Yeah.
I'm a junkie for it.
Princess Jess says she's winning the vote for cover contest currently. You guys doing a contest to?
Yeah, we put up a
cover?
contest on our Facebook page about comment a cover that you think Shallow Sides should do, and most likes gets the win. So if Jess has got it, we might as well just go ahead and do it. Jess, what was the
what was the song?
Yeah, what was
Let's
it?
see. She'll type it in. But no,
She's like Baby O by Justin Bieber. Son of a
or it's Baby One More Time by Britney. I want to that actually I kind of want to see that. I want to throw that in the pot there as a possible.
Man, that have you seen what's been going on with her social media stuff lately? She's wild.
She dancing. I think maybe. I don't know. She
That's
might
crazy.
she might be hitting that King Sue Toppling Goliath IPA like early in the day. Like breakfast beer.
I need to buy that stuff.
That's the breakfast of champions, right? And you put 16 ounces of that in your gully before the day begins. You're like, oh man, let's go. You're like fucking, yeah. You're ready. You're ready to start the day.
Ready to make it happen.
or steal cars. I'm not sure. Gone in 60 seconds. That was what I was going to try to say.
So that's a lot. That's a lot of what we've been doing is working on creation. I guess that's basically what that's basically all you can do. When you're an artist, and I mean you know firsthand when you're told can't be here, you just go and find your own four walls, and you're like, well, I can make fire in here. Then if you're not going to allow me to put fire out there, I'll make fire in here.
Right.
And I'll enjoy it. So that's what we're shooting for now.
So Princess Jess, who said Black Velvet or Dirty Diana?
Ooh, those are good ones. Those are good ones.
Or Footloose. I want you to do Footloose acoustic.
That one's been a lot. Our management company, they love that. They love that and wish that we would record that cover. Just have it. We got really close, and then the country guy from The Voice did it.
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton.
That's right. When they redid the movie and that came out, right?
Yeah, that's when the remake came out. Like we were about to jump in the studio and run with it, and then we saw that he was actually tracking it, and I was like, no, he's gonna ruin it. It's a rock and roll song. Just let him have it, because I'm not gonna like try. I can't. My pride will not let me not fart in his mouth, because I know that he's going to ruin a good rock and roll song and turn it too overly country, and he did. We all saw that coming. But whatever, that's life.
Yeah.
Black Velvet, though, I could definitely rock some Black Velvet. That song's gritty. It's dirty. That song was stripper music before stripper music. Dun, 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 dun. Black Velvet.
That is a lot of miles.
Is that song about Elvis?
It is about Elvis, yes.
It is about Elvis, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was shaking his hips. Boy, had it.
Yeah. I mean, that was X-rated back in Elvis's day. They're like, we're going to need to put the camera from the hip up. We don't want to see you shaking your hips and doing something crazy like that. Man, imagine that shit and people looking at fucking Instagram right now going, God.
Man, it's a good thing those people aren't alive. They just died. That's what would happen.
Well, except for Elvis, because he's still alive.
He's still out there. Yeah. He'll never go. Him and Tupac, they're just...
Him and Tupac and Biggie.
Although I think Tupac is out in the front, but no one's calling it out. Montel is Tupac.
Is that what it is?
Yes, that's who it is. It's the same person. I swear to God, it's just they just look like the same one.
They're never gonna notice.
Yeah, they'll never catch me. I just put this earring in.
I was on, and this has been a weird thing I think about not quarantine, I guess, whatever, not really having much else going on, is being able to fall down a rabbit hole. And like I was on a rabbit hole of Tupac for like a full day. Somebody posted some meme on Facebook, and I was like, man, I haven't heard Two of America's Most Wanted in forever. And all of a sudden I'm like, suburbia, small town, Wisconsin, just Tupac blaring, My neighbors are like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it was amazing, though. It brought me back to my youth in a small town in Wisconsin listening to Tupac.
Yeah, that's good. I grew up listening to Tupac, too. I secretly listened to him because being, I grew up in North Alabama. So I grew up in the buckle of the Bible Belt. I was where the latch happened.
Right there in the latch, bro. Right in the latch.
Yeah, they our community was raised by preachers and principals, and that was it. Like, get out of line, go to hell. That's all there was. It was just fire and brimstone around there. So I was, sneaking off. Still, I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and just in the closet, just a little white kid by himself. Yeah, it's like,
jamming to that Discman.
I saw Eminem come out, and I was like, now is my chance.
Here it is. That's what they say. You see somebody do it, that means it can be done.
Yeah, it's true.
Follow Eminem. No, I remember, like, you talk about music and not like people being afraid of it. I remember having the cassette tape of Appetite for Destruction, the cassette tape, and just wearing it out. But my mom found the cover. They insert the cover, and there was the image there of like the alien, like, and the girl with her panties are on her. It was explicit, and and I've never seen a cassette tape shattered into. She probably cut her hand like 4 times, just breaking that motherfucker. Just like, what do you think you're listening to? I'm like, well, they don't talk about aliens having sex with women in the album. Like, what's the deal? Take the cover. I don't care. I just want the tunes, lady.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's gotta hurt. Eminem's first album had the pill on it, the broken. That was I got in trouble for that one. Parents found that one. It was over. And then they started finding all the CDs with like the
parental advisory sticker.
Yeah, the little black and white one.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I knew my life had changed. I was like, I'm just trying to be a grown up in a kid's world, and this is not working out. It's
Nancy Reagan's fault. Nancy Reagan made him put all the parental advisory stickers on the.
Damn it, Nancy!
Damn it, Nancy! Made she. No, I think is she still alive? I don't fucking know. I don't know. But
I don't know. Speaking of rabbit holes, I have recently ran down one, and because it's 2020, it's all political, and it's terrifying. It is terrifying. Is the world of politics as thick up where you are as it is down here, or are we just all infested with it because it's 2020?
It's everywhere because you can't even decipher now what is like politics from politicians and what's politics from your friends or followers or shit people share on social media, because there's no clear and defined line. It's just big giant gobs of shit fall from the sky and into your phone, and you're like,
that's a meteor.
I just came on here to see half naked ladies. Like, what is all this? I don't care. care. This is crap.
It's a meteor, and I want all my money. No, that's a big
Where's
chunk
the
of
payout?
poopy.
I don't like any of this. No, it's thick up here, and everybody's of course got the as opinionated as they can be when they're behind their device, spewing out all their thoughts.
It's strange, and here's something that I find the like so unnerving about it is that the facts aren't even real anymore. Like there are no such thing as facts, because if it is factual, meaning that it's real and it actually happened, that it's so real you can physically even touch it. If it goes against the other side's narrative, it's wrong.
Yeah.
So, that is so unnerving. Like there's is zero middle ground in that direction, and it's just, man, it's such a headache. It's such a headache. And I guess that's I guess the reason I fell down the rabbit hole recently is because we've been trying to create so much content that I'm trying to consume it as well. And the more that I consume, the more that I'm just like, you know what's cool? Owning a farm on 100 acres in Wyoming and fighting off coyotes with ducks.
Yeah. I mean,
I can do that.
I want us, that should be a reality TV show. But no, I had this conversation, strangely, not Wyoming necessarily, but would you be now living in today in 2020, just with all the shit going on, could you remove yourself from society per se and go and have that 100 acres somewhere in the middle of nowhere, live off the land kind of thing, no Wi-Fi, no whatever. And like, if you would have asked me that in 2019, I'd be like, fuck no. I'm like, I need to be able to, spew my craft, which is talking to people
right
on the internet. But now, I mean, that conversation came up and I'm like, that actually doesn't sound half bad.
It's not too bad.
You give me a little trout creek running through the back of that property and, some, deer or antelope and a bow.
Game over.
Man.
And a bow? Make it happen.
Dude.
I could I've said for a long time, and I'm 100% know that it's true. If it wasn't for music, because, and I've claimed this since we started playing, that music is my greatest asset and is also my biggest downfall, because I'm tethered to it, so I must tour. This was before COVID thinking. Being able to tour means I'm not allowed to be home. So like there's always the yin to the yang. If it wasn't for music in my life, I would not even have social media. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. Oh, it just, like, point blank, I just wouldn't. Just simply, I couldn't. And at this point, I'm starting to debate whether I could get. I mean, for the longest time, if it wasn't for our publicist, I wouldn't even have a regular Facebook page. I just had the like page for so long, because scrolling through the news feed was just a nightmare. And then, of course, our publicist, Doug, damn it, Doug, is what we like to say.
Damn it, Doug. I think we had that conversation on the last podcast. Damn it, Doug.
There you go. Damn it. It's always Doug. It's always Doug. He convinced me that and able to, or to be capable of networking easier and it not being so awkward, or me having a cloak of weirdness around me.
Right.
And I needed to have like the regular stuff. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do it, but under one condition. And then I never made those conditions. I was probably having those,
let that just fucking dust off into the air. Like, as soon as I figure that shit out, I'm going to tell you what it is.
I didn't follow through, because like any other artist in the world, procrastination is my number one achievement in life.
Just waiting on the conditions, man. That's all I'm doing.
Yep.
No, it's the web has become extremely tangled. I think people maybe there was a conception early during COVID when everything kind of got shut down almost, I don't want to say to the extreme of like post 9/11, but like this, we really are all in it together. This really humanizes everything. We're all connected in this real, not even Team USA thing, but like globally, like, hey, as a human race,
global.
we're like, we really are all equal. And then after the 2 weeks went by and people started going, I need to go to the bar. I need to go to a show. I need to go to my kid. If my kid has to stay home another fucking day from school, one of us is not coming out of the house tomorrow.
We're burning the city down.
And I'm bigger than he is. So for now. But people just, the derailment happened like after the first couple weeks. Everybody started to kind of, that's where the divide happened, where like the economy, masks, fucking conspiracy, vaccines, Bill Gates, babies, like shit just is, it's a mess. The world is a mess.
How do we get back? How do you think that we get back to it?
Here's what we do. I got it, bro. I told you when we fucking set this up. I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump on this live stream. We're going to solve all the problems. Okay?
Today's the day.
Today's the day. For everybody in the chat right now who's watching this live, congratulations. You're going to be the first to know. Here's what we're going to do.
Send the IPAs.
First, we're going to get some beer. Then,
I like the way this is going.
Then, we're going to call Doc Brown. And we're going to get the damn DeLorean. And we're going to go back in fucking time. Okay? Here we are. You, me, Marty McFly. Maybe we'll bring Jennifer and Einie, the dog. We're going to get in that DeLorean. And we are going back in time. We're going to Wuhan. And we're shutting it down. We're going to be like, hey. Everybody chill the fuck out. Have a beer. Stop eating bats. You weird scientists over there, stop fucking, like, stop. Put the shit down.
Put the bacteria down.
Put it down. Close the door. Wash your hands. Everybody chill. Okay? We're going to need a translator, so we got to find somebody else to come with us in the 2-seater DeLorean. But we're going to make it fucking happen. That's how the magic happens. Then if they riot, we shank people. That's how it works, man.
I like it. Yeah. Solid plan. Solid.
I think so. I think it's well thought out.
Yeah. I don't see any flaws. We could do this.
What could possibly go wrong?
Maybe the translator. I think if anything was to really mess things up, it would be a translator. Because I would say something and they would be like, that's not English.
Wait a minute.
You'd say something and then they'd know we weren't speaking English because the IPAs were talking for us. So at that point, maybe, and just maybe, it already happened and we're the cause because that's where it was. And now if we jump in the DeLorean, we're just going to repeat the cycle.
Well, there is something about messing with the space-time continuum, so I've been told, but whatever.
Yeah.
But what?
Nah.
But even after like the COVID thing hit, it felt like those 2 weeks went by. Everybody lost their shit. Everybody still obviously has their shit completely lost. But like random bad things kept on interjecting themselves. Like, people are kind of like saying, fuck COVID. I'm just going to go out and live my life. Then they're like, send in the fucking murder hornets, dude. Send in the murder hornets. Freak people out. You're like, oh my God, now there's murder hornets. Like, well, I didn't mind COVID so much.
The vitamin D cures COVID. And all you got to do is stand under the sun. Good luck running away from the murder hornets.
It's like they had their own
tale of like Hunger Games right now.
It really is, and they probably had their own theme song. Some dramatic Danny Eiffelman fucking Corey, song that the murder hornets came into. It's very dark
I hope that is because I've never seen the murder hornet before, but I hope that their wings flutter. In the rhythm or melody of Final Countdown. That's what I'm hoping for. Just
fuck. I'm getting my vitamin D, assholes. I'm just trying to live it out over here. But no, it's always something. And then you had the riots and stuff. And we're in Wisconsin, where I live. I mean, we're like an hour and 15 minutes away from Minneapolis, St. Paul. So we're like on the border, and they're talking about they're going to come to Wisconsin, and they're going to the small towns. I'm like, I wouldn't fucking do that, dude.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Yeah, nah, I know. I mean, it's probably like where you're from in Alabama. Like, you don't venture too far outside of the city limits.
Yeah,
they ask zero questions. They don't ask. They see and shoot.
I think it goes down to, and this isn't a golden rule, but I know it's an ancient rule. Don't shit where you eat. And the city is not where you eat. That's not where food's grown. That's
Right.
not where people are creating life for other humans. It's just where people are living. There's people where people are residing. People work there. There is life happening in the city, but the process is happening on the outside of the city, and you just can't shit where you eat. It just doesn't work. I think that goes all the way back to maybe even biblical efforts, but you have people, and when I saw that there was a slow movement trying to move their efforts from the city to the suburb, from the suburbs to the rural areas, I was just watching thinking like, man, don't do that for your own safety. And that's just where that is. Like that, like the I mean, in a place where you can probably get 200 or 300 people together smashing windows, there's a house that's like 200 yards off the road that would just completely take out 200 people before you made it to the doorbell.
Yeah.
And then that's where and then that same person working at the morgue would just pick up all your bodies and, store them to wherever they need be. Maybe give it to the celebrities and politicians for their adrenochrome or whatever they're doing nowadays.
Yeah, you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, apparently. But that dude in that house, the house down the road a little bit, he's been practicing for that day forever. He's like, I've been just waiting. Come on down,
there
motherfucker.
With a spit can, his IPA, spit can, and a shotgun.
He is. He's listening to some fucking Yellow Wolf. He's just pegging people off, man.
Yes.
That should be your next collab, I think. I think you and Yellow Wolf should do a song together.
I would absolutely rock with Yellow Wolf. That dude,
because he's an Alabama guy too, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe he's from northeastern Alabama. I'm not sure of the city, maybe Gunnersville or something like that. Somewhere around that. But yeah, Alabama. Alabama represents Yellow Wolf just as much as that is vice versa. So that would be awesome. That would be, I don't know how much it would be for him, but for me, super awesome. I would be so down with that.
Dude, I think he would love that shit. He'd be like, fuck yeah, let's fucking do this fucking shit.
A lot of it, interestingly enough, just listening to our music and his music, there's elements, even though I know his music isn't directly created right there in Alabama, there's elements of his music that coincide with a lot of our stuff, which is, for me, very interesting. I love seeing that. It's hailing outside right now.
What the fuck, man? Murder hornets, riots, COVID, hail.
The dust storm. Do you remember that one? That was a thing for like 2 days.
That's right. The dust is coming over from Africa, and it's going to pollute the air, and now the air is going to be all screwed up. Your mask is. I'm like, wow. Like, I
thought Ben Fraser would. I thought he was going to come back for it. Ain't that his name? What's his? Is it who did the Mummy?
Oh, Brandon Fraser. Yeah.
Brandon, not Brent.
I think Brett's is much less talented younger brother. Probably his butt double.
We'll just throw all the Sam's Choice out at it.
It's fine. He's the Sam's Choice cola. that nobody wants, but it's only a quarter, so you get it. When you go past the machine, that's just life.
Makes sense.
No, so speaking of collaborations, like if they're, I love the Yellow Wolf idea just because I do feel, especially in like the newer stuff, there's a lot sonically that is that I feel. That's why I brought it up, because I feel that kind of there's a dirty rock and rollness to it, and I guess when I think of you guys, there's a dirty rock and roll element to it that I love, and I think that even ties into the Black Velvet song being that kind of dirty, gritty rock and roll kind of attitude vibe to it. Strippers can dance to it, which is a plus, I think, for everybody. Well, everybody involved, not everybody, but for me. But if there was is there an artist out there that you'd be like, yeah, I could see us doing something really cool together?
There's a few artists that I've thought would be a fun collaboration. Yellow Wolf being one of them. Was actually one of the top notch, because you always want initially, I guess, creating music, you want something out of your genre base because you feel that you represent it enough that you need the extra element. But then there's also there's things I'd like to see in rock and roll happen a lot more, and that's just collaboration among more rock and roll artists.
Right.
You see it in hip hop. They'll swap verses all day long. Even in country, they've dove a lot into that, but you don't see that in rock and roll. I'd name a few that I would absolutely love to work with. Top of the list, right off the head. Seether, would love to work with them. Shinedown, would love to work with them. I would even love to work with Nickelback. I think that they're so versatile as a band, and they're, for me, legendary. That is very unpopular opinion. I think it's an unpopular opinion,
I've heard.
Or it's just fun to make fun of Canadians. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Being as close to the border as I am, it may be just the Canadian thing. Like, hey, we're from Wisconsin, but at least we're not from Canada.
Yeah, there you go.
No, Nickelback has always I've always been a huge, not a huge Nickelback fan, but they continually put out, in my 20 years of radio career opinion, fantastic song, well written, radio friendly, super. They go to and they pack arenas.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I'm not sure if they were built up as this, not next Metallica, because I've heard that reference. I'm like, no, but they were supposed to be like the next rock band, like the next rock thing that happened. And there was little pop elements in there. And I think that's where it all kind of went off the rails for them, as far as that popular opinion or unpopular opinion, whichever it is.
They just got too popular or something?
Well, they got too poppy. There was, they crossed over to Top 40 radio, and they did some really soft stuff. And
that is true.
And everybody's like, well, if I can't understand the lyrics, I don't like it. All right, cool, bro. Whatever. Do you, man. Be happy. But
I could definitely run a rock song with those dudes. Alter Bridge, for sure. I'm not sure that I could go with a lot of the metal scene.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure vocally I would be able to fit in their realm. It just, to me, would seem a bit different. However, I've met producers that can just do anything. So you never know what it could be. I think if you look in probably like the top 50 songs of rock, I would love to work with all those dudes.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah. There's a lot of other bands that aren't really at the top of the list that I'd want to work with too. A lot of the lower level, like national acts that we tour with, I'd love to work with them too. Maybe it just starts a trend. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe we just start a trend and we just start running running amok on collaborations, because I feel like that is needed, in a community effort.
Yeah, especially in the rock genre, I think is you hit it on the head with hip hop. I mean, hip hop you'll have a list of artists on a song, and it's too far to fit on your screen. You're like, who else was on this fucking thing?
Yeah, true.
Country does it a lot. Country is crossed over a little bit into some other genres and done some things. Obviously, there's maybe a little more criticism when they do that, but rock feels like it has, and I think even you kind of nailed it too with the line between like rock and roll, true rock and roll, and metal. There's like this curtain, this iron curtain between the two, that even though they can coexist at a festival, in a festival setting, but I think that even proves the point more, because you'll have people that are there to see a Shallow Side, but will also go up and watch Lamb of God be on stage. Now,
Right, yeah.
because despite popular belief, people can like more than one style of music. I know
Heaven forbid.
I know, like, how dare you not tote the flag for metal or speed metal or death metal or thrash metal or rock and roll or pop rock, or like, whoa, like dudes playing instruments. That's kind of above and beyond what a lot of people are doing in the scene these days. But rock, there's not that big collab, like, hey, cool, like Shallow Side and Seether threw down a track and it's fucking badass. You just don't hear that shit.
I think there's a stigma to it, because once you become cool, you're not cool anymore. I think that's the stigma, for that rock and roll holds. If you read a lot of the articles and stuff, or not, let me take that back. If you see these rock and metal publication places and they post anything, period, if it has a positive message with it, the comment section is just riddled with disgust. They hate it. They like loathe it. There's love here and it feels sticky.
I don't like it. It makes me itchy. It makes me itchy in the crotch.
It's so strange. And then you'll see that those same publications, and they're like, the same person we were shitting on yesterday has died, and everyone's R.I.P.
Oh man,
that guy was such a legend. Miss him so much. That's I literally have that as one of my biggest fears. I'm terrified of being appreciated dead. I'm so scared of that. I'm so scared of more people being appreciative that I'm dead rather than I'm alive. It's a strange.
No,
I fear.
I feel that, and I think there's validity to that feeling, because you do feel like, I mean, especially for you guys doing, Road Warriors, tons of shows, being out, meeting people, creating that unity that's out at a live show. You talked about people from Wisconsin going to Michigan and seeing a show, and all of a sudden you see them at, a show in Minnesota, then they're down in Illinois, and you meet all of these people, and then you become like super cool. And they're like, fuck you. Like, yeah. I remember when Eric was like, we were hanging out doing shots of Jack Daniels outside of their tour, outside of the van, with the trailer, the Sprinter van with the trailer. And now he's like fucking tour bus guy, doing collabs with Yellow Wolf. Fuck him. Oh, he died. Oh, bro. Bro, I remember that time I was doing.
Now to do VIPs.
Yeah.
They charge.
Then they use that same story that fuck him. I remember doing shots of Jack Daniels with him. After you died, they're like, man, I remember that time.
Same story.
Out in Kennesaw, we saw him in Kennesaw, Georgia, and we had shots of Jack Daniels. Oh man, I loved from the first album. I loved him. Like, wait a minute, what happened? Like, where did the?
It's vividly the same story, just a little bit different diction on the words instead of. And we were doing shots.
Now he's an ass. And he was just the kindest guy. Let's see. Booyah says, longest I've traveled to see Eric was Michigan to Florida. Look at that.
Michigan to Florida. What about we played at a place in Mississippi think it was either I can't remember the name of the city now, but it's there's only like four in Mississippi. It's the one in the south.
It's the South.
Um,
It's there's one in each corner of the state.
yeah, it's just the southern Mississippi city. Pascagoula. Anyway, uh, we played at this place, and the owner, absolutely wonderful human, and I believe he had been taken advantage of for a very long time, and
Thunder's
that's where we
Tavern.
met.
Thunder's
Huh?
Tavern. Thunder's.
That's the spot.
Thunder's Tavern.
That's the spot. Incredible guy. This guy is an absolute angel on earth. Could have been the biggest cunt for several years. However, I will never remember him like that. He just had the potential to because of the world that he had around him. He played NFL football for several years. He had this. He has this. I'm not sure if he still has it. Of Thunder Tavern over there, but the place had like two Olympic-sized pools outside, huge volleyball court, big rock and roll stage with a wraparound bar, big dance floor, and it just smelled like cat piss, cat shit. And I hope the likelihood of him seeing this at all very slim. Basically because it's the internet, and he's I don't know
The
man,
World Wide Web. www. dot.
he's a bit older now. Sweet guy, super sweet guy. But however, that place just entirely infested with dead animals in the attic, and you could smell it. Cat piss all over. The guy had been taken advantage of for years. We wouldn't even take pay after playing there because I was like, man, it is nope, you keep that. You buy yourself some dinner. We're gonna go. This is depressing.
We're gonna go do some hooking for money.
The pools were green. I mean, and it was midsummer, so like no one's taking care of the whole place. There's grass growing up in the sand of the volleyball pit. The bartenders just giving out free alcohol, but then there was definitely some underage drinking going on in there. Simply because the reason I knew that is because we had several people on our side of the club that was watching the rock show, and then I noticed the people that came in were all ordering the same drink, about 7 of them. And they're all like looking around, like, making it all awkward. And then they go play pool.
We'll be over here by the pool table, putting their drinks down on the floor.
No one's racking. And it is clearly just underage. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, yeah. Jeff actually he traveled from Michigan all the way down there for it was a good time though. The guy always threw a good party. It was always fun there. But man, that was just reminiscent on those traveling days. Whew, that was a rough one.
Plus, he says, plus the sound system went out 2 songs into the set.
It did, and we played acoustic right there on stage, no speakers because it all died.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Life,
and that was the second time that's happened in my career. It happened once before. We were playing with Trapped in North Carolina. And shout out to Trap, by the way. A lot of people hate those dudes, but Chris has always been a super good guy to me. So like I'm still team Trapped. But the storm barreled through, knocked out all the power, and there was nothing left. But there were 150 people in North Carolina packed into this room that could possibly hold 75, and there were tables in there, so it was stinky packed, and it was late August, so it was hot as shit in there. So it's this steaming pile of rock and roll going on in there, and we decided you know what, pull out your phones, turn the flash on all the way up, and if we got enough light on stage, we'll go ahead and just rock these things out. And then our our tour manager at the time decided that he was going to drive the bus up and plug turn the bus on with the generators and stuff, plug in speakers, run extension cords inside the building. We turned on like one light and we
Love it.
played the rest of it acoustic and set it up well enough and had it to where we could run electric, because we were like, Trap's probably not going to go for this day, but we still want them, to play. We can't let all these people down there here for the show. They already paid for it. So let's make it happen. And then Chris actually was just like, man, no, we're doing it acoustic. We'll tone it down too. We were only supposed to be playing for 45 minutes a night, so not a big deal. We'll just play for an hour and a half. Fuck it, let's roll. And they did. And wow, that was a pretty cool time. That was a pretty cool time. The awning of our bus got pulled off that night because of the wind, though. Jeez. I do not remember it at all. No clue. Just woke up the next day with a problem. She's like, shit, gonna have to fix this.
So we're doing shots of Jack Daniels outside of your bus. Oh, that's where that fucking story came from that night.
That's how that always starts.
It's a boy. What? No. It's not. Hey, man, I fucking love talking to you. I think that there's of all the people that I get a chance to sit here and chat with, there's nobody that I love rapping with back and forth more, because like we can take conversation anywhere and still get great insight of what you're going through, and fighting off murder hornets and fucking New Balance shoes. I mean, just living total dad life over there. And it's, dude, hey, I'm the same way. Like we got a letter in the mail today from the school district that we have the option of virtual learning. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Okay, here's the option.
With it.
Here's the option. How many days can he be in there? Because that's how he's going. I don't care if he has to wear a mask, if he has to be in a bubble. The boy's going to school, because I've been parenting nonstop since March, like St. Patty's Day, bro. I'm not built for this. Cool. I'm not built for this.
Yeah, same. When our daughter got. They shut down daycare over here for a hot minute when it first started, and she goes to daycare. We call it school. We're trying to trick her.
I like it.
She's gaining on it though. But anyway, they shut that down and sent all the kids home, and I was capable. I was able to run my normal day-to-day life, but still juggle her during the daytime. And then I'd swap out at nighttime. And man, that it's different. When people say it takes a community to raise a child, it really does, because it takes one person to wreck that little mother. And it takes a community to save it. That's all that happens there with
this is what happens. Like, my kid just came down and he shut my light off. Like, he just walked in the room, waved at me, and shut the fucking light off. I'm like, this is why you're going to school 4 days a week, because that's all they'll allow. Asshole.
Take that, Dad.
Take that shit. He came down. He's like, can I? He's like mouthing, like, can I go outside? I'm like, yeah. And he walked out and shut the light off. I'm like, thank you, I guess, for knowing that we shut lights off when we leave a room. But usually, if there's somebody in the fucking room, you leave the light on. You just do you're kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were there, Dad.
How old?
10.
10. Mine's 2. So
yeah. Well, they told me.
So it doesn't get better, I see.
No, because my ex and I split like earlier this year. It's all part of 2020, like the narrative of it, and so I have him most of the time, and apparently I'm doing a good job of him. And hey, we don't have much money to pay the bills, so shut all the lights off.
Shut the lights off.
At least he's picking up on my asshole tendencies as well. Like, fuck you.
There you go.
Shut that shit down, Dad. What's up?
Yeah, team Coop.
Hashtag Team Coop. But no, brother, I appreciate the time. I wanted to get you on here just because I know we can converse for hours, and I want to get back on here again. But I know you guys are gonna storm 2021. I think that's seemingly the way things are looking. The rest of this year, it's kind of fisted and not in the fun way.
Yeah, right here. That's where you find the fun, right?
What kind of party is this?
It's one of these.
One of these kind of parties. Have a seat, everybody. But 2021, I know that you guys are going to get out and fucking go and kill it, and I can't wait to see your beautiful faces again.
Looking forward to it, man. Thank you for having me on. But do it again.
But you know what I do? I do have to say, seeing Matt Daniels on Insta, and I'm a guy that I work out every day. I run, I lift shit, and then I see him working out, and I'm like, I'm a fucking pussy. Like, dude, bruh, making me feel all inferior. But we love him. All right, brother.
Absolutely.
And Jeff's on his way. Jeff's like, Michigan has been shut down since March. 2 kids at home, losing my mind. 2, man, that's worse. Man, I feel you, brother. Poor Jeff.
Get out of the Democratic state.
They didn't. They went red. They went red last election, bro.
Michigan?
In the presidential. Oh yeah, they still have the. I've heard stories about their governor over there. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll exit on that positive note. Hey, brother, I love you. Much love to the fam. And get those New Balances on and the crop top and Daisy Dukes. Go mow that fucking lawn.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Much love. Take care of yourself, brother.
You too. Later.
Later.